My 27F husband, 24M, keeps turning on our camera and watching me. So basically, my husband and I have a pretty great relationship. A lot of trust, love and communication. However, he's been doing something a bit odd lately and it's making me uncomfortable. I need some advice on how to approach the subject with him and maybe some perspective on why he may be doing this. So we live in an area that in the last 2 years has really gone downhill. When he was gone for a year, I ended up getting a camera for the front door so I could have an added bit of security, and when he got home we got a few more cameras and set them up around our condo due to a lot of recent break-ins, and one break-in attempt while he was gone. Our front door camera is always on, however, our kitchen and living room cameras only turn on when we both leave the house. Elv noticed that when my husband is at work late night, he has turned the camera on a few times and watched me for a solid minute, then turns it back off. I feel weird about it because it's almost like Elm being spied on. I'll just be sitting there playing video games and I'll see the light pop on. It wouldn't bother me so much if he had mentioned it, but he didn't. And he deletes the history of it afterwards. But I see the camera light turn on, see the camera footage on our app, then see it disappear 10 minutes later. So it's like he's spying on me and keeping it from me. Elv never done anything to break his trust, I'm fully faithful and am not doing anything wrong while he's gone. Mainly video games, cleaning and reading. At first I thought maybe he had texted, called and was checking to make sure I was okay, but nope. No messages, no missed calls. Am I wrong for feeling this way? I don't want to bring it up and seem like I have something to hide, but also, it's creepy, right? Update: so he called me while charging the car before coming home, and I brought it up casually and said, "Hey, I noticed this, what's up?" He explained the first time he was checking to make sure it was on because the kitchen one wasn't working. After that, he realized he liked seeing my face while he was gone and felt like I might feel weird about it, so he deleted them. He apologized and seemed really genuine. Thanks for the advice, guys. I know it may have seemed simple, but I'm a chronic overthinker and tend to freak out about bringing up issues like this due to controlling ex-partners freaking out. I appreciate everyone. I've definitely used our cameras to spy on my husband because I miss him and he's super handsome. I don't delete the evidence after though. My husband uses them exclusively to spy on our cat, lol. You bring it up because it makes you feel uncomfortable. See what he says and, if you agree or not. Only communication fixes it. If he lies then suggest you have a hacker, and feel unsafe, and deactivate them, unplug or tape it. I have to admit, I'm security and surveillance. I have cameras everywhere, apart from the bedroom, all motion detection. I always check to see my wife at home, 1. To make sure she's okay as we live in the country 8 kilometers from anywhere. 2. I miss her and want to see her. I always delete the footage for space. Start waving at him when you see the light go on, so he knows you see him. If you're uncomfortable, point the camera away or walk into another room. You deserve comfort and privacy in your home even if you co-own and cohabitate. My 27 male, girlfriend, 26 female, cancelled diner to dine in with her friends. We were going to get dinner, 8:30–10 p.m. She was going to eat and I was going to join her, and then go dancing, 10 p.m. She texted me around 8, "Can we meet at 10? I called, she said she is going to have dinner with her friends, despite our plans, and said I can join if I want to, and wants to meet me at 10. I said we can pass on dancing too, I will hang out with my friend. She got mad that I ditched her completely. Today we spoke for a bit and she said, I didn't think that was a big deal, and I calmed down, but not being prioritized has come up a few times. I said, next time before, partially, canceling our plans to make plans with others. You can call me and ask if that's okay with me. She said, that's who I am and who I will be. I have the right to change my decision and make other plans. We argued over text and didn't seem to find a middle ground. I don't like a relationship where I'm not prioritized. She doesn't necessarily want to be sensitive about this. She texted, I don't not like feeling smothered or controlled. I was being considerate and kind to invite me to join with my friends. You are trying to control how I act and what I say and not listening to my intentions. Or see that I was trying to compromise. This is feeling very controlling and we might need space for now. I texted, we can end it here if that's okay with you. I suggested couple counseling, but she said this is not big of a deal and not worth counseling. I don't see how space and time can magically fix things for us. I then texted, why don't we cooperate and intentionally take action for the better? She got made and texted, Seems you never loved me so easy for you. You are extremely immature. This is how much respect you have for the relationship that you just throw it away so casually. That's what was bothering me earlier too when you said you wanted to break up with me. Seems like you are looking for a way out. Go ahead and leave. Am I the asshole? What should I do? What could I have done better? She's a crappy partner. Partners should always consider how their decisions affect the other. She's unwilling to contemplate that. So promote her to single and she can prioritize her friends all she wants. They'll be all she has if men are smart. She's blame shifting and trying to manipulate you to think you're the problem. You are not your GF's priority, and when you called her on it she blames you, and calls you names. She sounds more like a 13-year-old instead of 26. Her talking about immaturity is kind of humorous. Her canceling your date to hang out with friends, then calling you controlling? Although she did say you could come is kind of an insult. Did she tell you who she was breaking your plan to be with? Have you considered finding someone who is more considerate to be with? By the way, meeting or calling to work things out is better than texting. I mean, it was done the second she said, "That's who I am and who I will be. I have the right to change my decision and make other plans." She's not considerate, nor was she willing to work on anything. Sure, not everything is worth going to counseling, but it should have made her pause and evaluate. You can only have a relationship with someone who is willing to be in a relationship with you. Being inconsiderate and being super independent is not how you show willingness to be in a relationship. She has been disrespectful and you have a right to be angry. But good grief, what is it with all this texting? You're never going to resolve anything by text. Call her or arrange to meet face to face to discuss it. The pair of you are adults, not teenagers. I can't give advice, but I am curious why after a year of seemingly no posts you decide now is the time? My husband, 37M, told me he doesn't like this version of me, 34F, after having our son. Hey all, thanks for being here. I really need some ears on this. My husband and I had a baby 15 months ago, married 2 years, dated 5 total, and I experienced pretty severe postpartum OCD and anxiety. I also have depression and ADHD. So, admittedly I am quite a lot and very difficult to navigate at times. I'm transparent about my mental health and my struggles and am open about discussing it, getting help, therapist, and starting new meds, Lexapro. I am in a much different place than I was when our son was born. I was having about 10 intrusive thoughts a day regarding my son being brutally injured, never by me, but weird thoughts like a semi-truck crashing into the house or a forklift going rogue at Costco, etc., etc. Those have stopped and I'm much better during travel. I've agreed to over 6 vacations in his first year, so 14 plus flights and a month in Israel and week in Europe, US-based. I say this all to advocate for myself and how far I've come. Anyway, tonight my husband finally told me why he's been resenting me so much. I am a huge energy person and I feel the slightest shift, and his has been off with me for so long. He just told me and I simply cannot imagine being okay after this. He said that he misses the person I used to be, the person he fell in love with, and that he wouldn't have chosen this version of me for a partner. He said he wants me to be flexible with everything and agree to any and all plans, basically to be a yes girl with zero questions or concern. I did used to be a yes person, but I learned through therapy it was often to provide dopamine ASAP without thinking about the consequences. Is this what the end of a relationship looks like? Is this 2 people growing apart? He doesn't want a partner, he wants someone he can control who doesn't have any opinions outside his. Honey, I miss when you used to be a doormat. Girl, you have a kid now. You can't keep flattening yourself out for your husband to roll right over you. He wanted cool girl or manic pixie dream girl. It may be time to be gone, girl. He wants to control you. Sounds like you are getting stronger, and he doesn't like it. A marriage is sharing, not forcing one to do something. I've agreed to over 6 vacations in his first year, so 14 plus flights and a month in Israel and week in Europe, US-based. What the actual fuck? My 30 male, GF, 40 female, heard inappropriate, locker room talk, and is breaking up with me. I live in a small community and work at a fire station, and volunteers come around to chit-chat and a bit of locker room talk happens. On one occasion, I was being teased about dating someone older than me, it got inappropriate, and I put a stop to it. Some time goes by, I fly into town, and on the flight was my GF's childhood friend that's staying with her sister and fiancé. I knew his coworker, who is a volunteer, that's picking him up, and we exchanged greetings and learning we all knew one another. Supposedly, what was said to my GF's childhood friend by the volunteer, who's no to talk out of his ass, was the inappropriate stuff about me and my GF, because I guess that's how he knows me. The childhood friend told my GF's sister and fiancé, and they didn't tell my girlfriend for months. Girlfriend's sister told the GF while I'm at work. She's devastated, embarrassed, humiliated, and heartbroken from this inappropriate locker room talk. I talked to the girlfriend's sister, who talked to the childhood friend who gave the account on the occurrence. I talked to the volunteer who said it, and I showed the screenshots of the conversation and an apology from the volunteer. We've been together over a year. We live together in her home. She broke up with me, despite what I say and show her. I'm on my 48-hour shift and don't go home for 2 days. Is there anything else I can do to try and get her back? Or should I get all my stuff and get on with life? I think I'm going to need examples of the locker room talk to understand what's going on here. Your story is very confusing. It both gives too much information and not enough. A lot of dancing around of what was actually said, who said it, what role you played, if any, and how it's linked to her leaving you. If you want any accurate takes, you need to give us all the information. I don't really understand what happened. So some guys at work were making lewd comments about you and your girlfriend. You shut it down. And now your girlfriend broke up with you because, why exactly? And what text conversation did you show her? Jesus, this story is incomprehensible. Try using fake names next time. She should just dump you for your lack of ability to write a coherent story.